All right, now it's time to work on the foundation. So we're going to start by identifying 2 new levels for our foundation, and then we're going to apply some columns for the structure to sit on and some spread footing to support that structure. So what we're going to do is start with our east elevation. And one of the things I'm going to do to make our life easier is we're going to click on one of these and drag it down a little ways here because we're going to add a couple of levels here. And then we're also going to go to the north and do the same thing. Get this one down here and pull it down. Maybe a little more. All right, and we'll push all that in when we're done with this. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add 2 levels. So I'm going to go to architecture. I'm going to find the level, and I'm going to make sure it lines up with the dotted lines and go all the way across. Make sure it connects with the dotted lines and do another one the same way. And then we're going to zoom in. I'm going to hit escape a couple of times. Instead of level 5, I'm going to rename that top of footing. Yes, rename it in all the views. Level 6 will be called bottom of footing. Rename it in all the views. This first distance should be -5 for the top of footing, and for the bottom, -7. So the footing will be 2 feet thick. Since they overlap, I'm going to click on this one and spread that out. So I'm going to do that on all the elevations real quick. Okay, the other thing I can do is grab these and pull them in closer, and that'll be better. And that should be fixed everywhere now. All right, so now we have our 2 elevations that we added for our foundation, the top of the footing and the bottom of the footing. So let's go to the ground floor. And the first thing we're going to do is add some columns. So we need to load a family in. So I'm going to choose column. I've already loaded it for this. So what you have to do is go to load family, and you're going to go to the folder structural columns and concrete, and then find the one that says concrete square column and click open there. Okay, and like I said, I've already opened that. So when I choose my so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be in structure. I'm going to choose column, and it will come up with 12 by 12. We're going to choose the 24 by 24, and we're going to use this as a grid. I'm going to select the whole thing and then hit finish. It's going to complain that you can't see them in the view, so we're going to go to press escape a couple of times and go to my 3D view, and there you can see the columns. If I click on one of them, I can see that it's connected to the ground floor and extends 9 feet, and that's not correct. So we're going to right click, select all instances, visible in view. You can always change these things once you put them in place. So it's going to start from the top of the footing and go to the ground floor. And something's still wrong. We still have that base offset of 9 feet. So we're going to right click on this, select all instances, visible in view, and make this 0. So again, what I should have done is selected all of them, chose top of footing, made it a base offset of 0, and the top level is ground floor. All right. So now you can see that those are correct. That's what it should look like. The next thing we're going to do is go to the top of the footing, and we're going to go to structure, and we're going to choose isolated. And it says you don't have any structural foundations. Do you want to load one? Yes, I would love to load one. What we're going to use is a concrete square. No, wait, this is the wrong thing. We need to do structural foundations. Structural foundations and footing rectangular. Click open. And we're going to make a new one. This is not the size we want. We want to choose edit type. And I'm going to choose, let me squeeze this a little bit. We're going to duplicate it and we're going to call it footing 7 foot by 7 foot by 2 feet. And one of the things I like to do when I make names for new structural pieces, I like to give them uppercase lettering so they're easy to find. Okay, so always duplicate before you edit. Now we're going to go in and change the thickness is 2 feet and the width is 7 and the length is 7. Okay, so now we've got a rectangular footing that's 7 by 7 by 2 feet thick. Click OK. And we're going to do this as a grid. I'm going to do that and hit finish. And it says you can't see them in the view you're in. So we're going to click on this and see if that's what we want. And look at that. They're right at the bottom of those. All right. That is enough for this video. The next thing we're going to do is add in some foundation walls.